So, here it comes, coming at you. So pick it up, yo, you better catch it. The bad boys are back on the block. Tip for the top, we won't be stopped. We're new and improved and got the grand groove. Pump it up, and raise the roof. It swings, swings, swings like the mighty Thor. You need to call out the Fantastic Four. So pick it up, pump it up. The bad boys are back because we're blowing up the place. Yo, you better catch it. Still slamming the punks cause I'm coming at ya. We're new and improved, pump it up, just jump. The WWE spells danger. It's 2025 and it's time for Wrestlemania. Oh, oh, Wrestlemania. Yeah, this is our life. Pump it up, pump it up. Whoa, whoa, Wrestlemania. Fighting to survive just like that, and just like that, another year has passed, and it is again time for WrestleMania. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Daniel Strunk from QuickTime Reactions, and this is my WrestleMania 41 predictions. Yes, we are starting brand new tradition on the channel where I'm going to give you guys my predictions for wrestling pay-per-views. Now, why not start it at the beginning of the year with the Royal Rumble? Well, I kind of wanted to start off on a big show. Now, granted, Royal Rumble is a pretty big show, but it is not the biggest show in wrestling of the year, and that, of course, is WrestleMania. So that's why we are starting off with WrestleMania. Now, we're going to go through all the matches that are listed on WWE's website. Starting off, of course, with WrestleMania Saturday. And I'm going to go in order by what they have on the website for predictions. So, here we go. First match up is Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. So, this one is tricky because I watched Wrestle Talk's prediction video, and Ollie said El Grande, and Luke said Rey. And in my fantasy booking video, I had it as a completely different Rey in the match. It was actually Rey Fenix in my booking video. So I think for me, it will probably end up being Rey Mysterio. And the reason I think why is because I'm thinking they may end up doing the unmasked spot, unmasking El Grande Americano as Chad Gable. I think they may do it here, and it could lead to like maybe LWO versus American Made at Backlash, maybe. But I have Rey winning it. Next up is Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Of course, these two have had a heated rivalry ever since Jade came back, and it was revealed that Naomi was indeed the person that took Jade out of action for a little bit. See, again, I think this one's pretty cut and dry, though. I'm going to say that Jade is going to win this quite handily. And kind of continue because she won last year, so kind of keep her Mania streak going as well. World Tag Team title match. New Day challenging the War Raiders for their World Tag titles. Again, interesting because I could see this going either way. Really like, flip of a coin here. I'm going to say the New Day. New Day are going to win the tag titles. Only because they had they had a match on Raw where it ended, I think, in DQ. And so my hope is that there's a stipulation added to this. I doubt there will be. But I'm going to assume that the New Day are going to cheat to win the tag titles. Nothing really more than that. Moving on, U.S. title match. LA Knight defending against jacobfatu. Again, this is a pretty easy one. jacobfatu is going to win this. I pitched in my fantasy booking video that it should be pretty close to a squash match. I mean, LA Knight will probably get like some moves in, but have Jacob have the majority of the match and have him win it in dominant fashion, and have him just be a kick-ass U.S. champ, like what Breaker's been doing with the IC title. Have him just be a kick-ass U.S. champ. Women's championship match. Tiffanystratton versus Charlotte Flair. Now, this is another one that is a real flip of the coin. Because, have Charlotte come back, win the Rumble, and win the championship at Mania. But an argument can be made, like, make the bigger star, or make another star in Tiffany. Have her retain the title against Charlotte at Mania. Although I have a feeling that is not going to be the case. So I'm going to provide two options. My brain says it's going to be Charlotte, and I think that is that is indeed going to happen. Is that Charlotte will win. I think Charlotte will win the title. Just to get her closer to her dad's record. And he might show up on the next day for Cena's match to try and stop him from breaking his record. Who knows? That would be very interesting if it did happen. And then my heart says Tiffany should win because you would make her a star at that point. Have her beat Charlotte at WrestleMania. That would make her a star instantly. But I sincerely doubt that is going to be the case. So, mind over matter, unfortunately, on that one. So I'm going to say Charlotte is probably going to take it. World Heavyweight title match. Gunther versus Jey Uso. This one seems pretty easy. Jay's going to win the world title. Although I've heard the only person that I've said, Gunther's probably going to retain, is Ollie from Wrestle Talk, and I just find that completely asinine, because why on earth would you do that? Just tell me why. Just please tell me why. But yeah, I'm going to say that Jay's probably going to win the title. Have him have probably a decent little reign with the belt. Maybe have him lose it at maybe Money in the Bank or probably SummerSlam. Something like that. And that would be me having the two main titles trade hands at... I don't care. But yeah, I would have Jay win the world title. And then the match that is going to main event night 1 of WrestleMania. That being Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins. In a Heyman on a Paul match, as Wrestle Talk have put it. Again, this is a 3-horse race with 3 horses in it. All of them have a reasonable chance of winning. It's like Roman wins and then he has the momentum to go back after his title. Punk can win it, and then he has the momentum to go after the title, or Seth wins it, and Paul has turned his back on both his tribal chief and his best friend to align himself with Rollins and take him under his wing. So it's like lots of avenues for storytelling here. Although I have probably the lowest on my chances of winning this are probably Roman. Like, Roman is probably the lowest one out of this that I have winning. Next would be Seth. And then the person that I have winning this match is Punk. I think Punk will win this match and probably go on to face Cena at Backlash. At least that's what I think WWE will do. Is have Cena and Punk at Backlash. Relatively close-ish to Chicago. It's in the Midwest, so I guess it kind of counts. So that would be my pick, is Punk to win the triple threat on night one. Moving on now to Mania Sunday, which is also Easter. So, that'll be very interesting. And by the way, WWE, why are you having 3-hour pre-shows? People are going to be at Easter. Come on now. Anyway, AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. See, I made the pitch in my booking video that it should be Styles who wins this. But again, I can see avenues going either way. Like, maybe you can tell the story of, like, if AJ loses, then he does side with Karrion Kross, and him and Kross just go on a tear, just taking people out left, right, and center. Or you can tell the story of, like, Kross did toughen him up and made him find his killer instinct, and he beats Logan Paul. And I think that's probably the avenue that I'm going to go with, is that Styles will probably beat Paul. And yeah, I think that'll probably be the way that they go with this. In a Sin City street fight, Damian Priest takes on Drew McIntyre. Now, not to say that this match does not deserve the Sin City street fight stipulation, but I would have thought that Cargill and Naomi would have had that, but it's neither here nor there. Drew did get put through a windshield that made him get glass in his eye, so I guess there is that. This will probably be just, hardcore fun. In the end, though, I'm thinking McIntyre will probably win this, because I see him potentially being Jay's first challenger as world champ. I think that might be the direction that they go in after Mania. And so I think, and plus I think Drew is he's hotter than, both these guys are pretty hot, but I think McIntyre is the one that has the edge in terms of heat. So I would say McIntyre will probably win the street fight. Women's tag titles: Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Lyra Valkyria and Bayley. Of course, Lyra, women's intercontinental champ. Bayley just challenged her for the belt a couple weeks back, but they did win the tag gauntlet on SmackDown to earn their shot at the tag titles, and I don't think they'll coexist. I think Liv and Raquel will probably hold on to those tag titles for just a little while longer. And I'm thinking that, because they announced a match for the pre-show for Stand and Deliver, a 4-team match for a shot at the women's tag titles for NXT on Tuesday. My assumption is that Cora and Roxanne are going to win that match, and they'll go on to potentially beat Liv and Raquel to win those tag titles, and that's how they get called up. That's how it happens, in my opinion, but I don't know if that'll happen for real. So I'm thinking Liv and Raquel will probably retain. Fatal 4-way match for the Intercontinental title. Braun Breaker, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Penta. I made the case in my fantasy booking video that Penta should win this title by pinning Balor. But I don't think that is the option that they'll go for in real life. I would love them to do that and give Penta a singles title off the rip in WWE, but I don't think that'll happen. I think that they will further the Judgment Day split by having Dom win the IC title by pinning Balor. And this will be like his slow turn towards babyfacedom as he goes up against, like, as Balor gets more and more pissed off at him. And I think that this will lead to a full-blown babyface turn for Dom. So I'm thinking Dom will probably win the IC title. Triple threat for the women's world title: Iyosky, Biancabelair, and Rhearipley. I think this one is pretty simple too. I'm thinking Bianca will probably win the belt. One, to just have Bianca and Ripley for Backlash. Actually, no, for 3 reasons. 2, to eventually build up to potentially Bianca versus Jade down the line. And 3, to keep Bianca's Mania undefeated streak alive at WrestleMania. I think she may find a sneaky way to try and win the match and the title. So I have Bianca winning the match. And the main event of Night 2 of WrestleMania for the undisputed WWE title: Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. Now, again, this seems really cut and dry as to, who's going to win this one. And I do think that it is indeed going to happen. Mr. Cena will win his 17th world title. Now, granted, like I said earlier on, I don't think he'll have a long reign with it. I think he may drop it at SummerSlam, potentially to, let's say, Gunther, or maybe even Braun Breaker, maybe a star on the rise. But, yeah, I am thinking that Mr. Cena will win his 17th world title. Even if Ric Flair tries to, come down and stop that from happening, I genuinely do think that Cena will probably get number 17 and take Flair off of his podium. So, yeah, those are all of my predictions for all the matches that are currently announced for WrestleMania, both nights 1 and 2. Of course, I'm going to have my reactions to the event after it happens on my channel, so be sure to subscribe for notifications as to when that goes live. Probably relatively late because I'll record it right after the show. But yeah, WrestleMania is upon us, and to kind of whet your appetite a little bit, I will be having a review out on Friday for a movie that I'm going to go see in a very special format. So consider that the beginning of kind of this special week or weekend of coverage on QuickTime Reactions. I'm very much looking forward to it. But in the meantime, guys, be safe and take it easy.